Hello everyone, thanks for coming to my channel, Surprise Comics. This is Matt, and I'm going to go ahead and do a couple contest submissions today. Today we're going to be doing submissions for Bigeez Comics and Undisputed Frost. Both great channels, both having their own unique contests. So I'm going to start with Undisputed Frost. Great guy, been watching his channel for a while now. Fun videos. Even does videos while he's driving sometimes, which is pretty crazy, but it's it's his thing. So his video or contest was to show your Holy Grail book, and so what I chose to show is my Batman #1. This one's rated PGX 9.6, and I don't know if it's necessarily my. I get to stay up there. I got it wrapped in the Mylar now, and so it's like a double whammy on there as far as the glare goes. But I went with this one. It's one of my favorite comics I own. It's one of the best written comics I own. Pretty high grade. I don't know if it's, 9.6 is a pretty nice grade for that, considering it's probably, I don't know if I have graded that high. So it's always nice to get something back higher than you thought it was. But super happy to have this book. It was the first big book I ever bought. As far as paying more than $20 for a book, I think I got for like 35 a couple years back. So before it really jumped up in price pretty quick after that. Other books that I would have considered in, to me, my Holy Grail book is the real Batman #1 from back in the 40s. Whether I'll ever get that book or not doesn't really matter. It's still, the Grail, like where the word Grail or the term Grail comes from is from the Holy Grail and the Crusades. So to me, a Grail book is one that's like almost impossible to get, but kind of that thing that keeps you motivated if you think about the Crusades and stuff like that. But a lot of people, take that word differently than I do, which is fine. And so in that category, I definitely put that up there. The other two books I have in my collection that rank up with this one is Batman 357, the first appearance of Jason Todd, and Batman 635, which is the first Jason Todd as Red Hood. Those books I can't show right now because they're off getting graded as we speak. So I'll just show this book for this contest. Go ahead and check out Undisputed Frost's channel. I'll put a link down in the description underneath. The next contest is Bigeez Comics, and his was to show 5 to 10 books that you would like to get graded. And I always use CGC. The first comic books I ever sent in to get graded, I used PGX because they're quicker and faster and cheaper. And they're great. They're a good company, good customer service, good everything. I don't really have any big complaints about them. One thing I did notice when the books came back, and especially after I got books back from CGC, and I have a couple of CBCS books too, is they definitely don't grade as strict. Now, whether or not they grade right or wrong, that's up to the person. Like I can tell this Batman book, it's in really nice shape. But there's like little things here, a nick there, a nick there. And so a 9.6 is probably a fair grade on this book. But, because it doesn't have, like it has 4 very small errors on it. But usually if I send in a book with 4 very small errors to CGC, it's going back a 9.4 most likely. Or not errors, but points of damage or stress or whatever. So, when you're buying a book and it's PGX, I don't know if you can always expect it to be in the same shape as if you bought it from one of the other grading companies. Now, whether the grades are right or wrong, I don't know. Some people give different experiences than I do. But just looking over all my PGX books, I put them side by side of the book of the same grade, especially when you get down into the 8.5s and 9.0s that I have a couple on. Those were definitely not nearly as good a shape as my CGC books. So I think the lower the grade, the bigger the gap is between PGX and CGC or CBCS. But, there's lots of debate about it. I don't really care. I like PGX. I think they display nicely. The case is nice. But I also like to, usually sell books when I get them slabbed. So I always look for I always go with CGC because I think they're a little more reliable as far as the grade. These are books I'm going to send to CGC. I just sent a whole bunch off. I haven't sent a lot of older books, anything pre-1975. It costs a little bit more, and it's easier to do that if they do a bulk order of them at the same time. So I'm kind of like collecting a bunch of early Bronze and Silver Age books to all send in together to get a price break on it. So I got Batman 237, really nice Neil Adams cover with that. All these books will probably need a pressing on top of getting graded as well. And so another cost factor to consider in. Batman and Robin 234, first appearance of Two-Face. In the slab will say in the Silver Age, but it's definitely a Bronze Age book. I have Action Comics number 2340, first appearance of Parasite. Another recent pickup. Batman 244. Awesome Neil Adams cover. One I've been wanting for a long time. It was on my top 10 list for the year, but it probably been number 11 if I had done more than 10. Lois Lane, number 106. Controversial by today's standards, but not really back then. Pretty high grade copy, so I'm excited to eventually get that one slabbed. I did notice that the staple is popped up here on it though, unfortunately. Didn't notice when I bought it, so from what I thought I was getting an awesome deal on, turned out just to be a fair deal. So probably might come back qualified, which I'm not sure if I want to send it in because of that, but I'll make that decision probably last second when I'm deciding whether or not to include it when I send it in. Other one I got a great deal on. This book's just taken off, especially since I got it. Doctor Strange 169. It looks like it's in really good shape, but it does have water damage, so it's really wavy. I don't know if you can see it in the mylar there. You can see a little bit discoloration over here from the water damage. So that one, I'll definitely get a really nice press on it before I get it graded, and hopefully I can get it as a very good, even with that damage. And the last book I'm going to send in, it's a pretty nice copy of Fantastic Four King Size Annual number 6. This is the first appearance of Annihilus and Franklin Richards. So that's my submission for Bigeez Comics. Check out his channel. He's like one of the first people I ever had subscribed to my channel. So it feels like I go way back a whole 4 months or whatever it was since we started doing this. We started, I think he's like started 2 or 3 weeks before I put my first video up. But he's always real excited and real passionate about his comics and the things he shares. Always has a lot of enthusiasm. Always fun to watch his channel. So definitely give that. I'll put his link in there as well. Thanks everyone for watching. Make any comments if you'd like, and have a good day.